Yo, what is up guys? Special video coming at you today. As you can see before you, I've got both MDLX Optimus and Bumblebee from this new line out of ThreeZero Toys, of course. And I'm going to be taking a look at both of these guys. Both videos I will be uploading at the exact same time, but in this video, we're going to be focusing on this guy right here. And here we have MDLX ThreeZero Optimus Prime. And Optimus Prime, of course, just giving you a nice little look here. This is ThreeZero is now officially partnered with Hasbro and Transformers. So this is an officially licensed toy here, an officially licensed Optimus Prime. Giving a look on the side there, you get a real nice full body shot of Optimus with his name going down the side. And on the back, you get some nice action poses with, let me get the camera up there, some nice action poses just showing off him holding the Matrix, him in his classic kind of jumping, shooting pose, and just some nice little details there. And on the opposite side, just another nice graphic of Optimus. But without further ado, let's get this guy out of the package, see what he really looks like. Now, before we take a look at this guy here, I'm going to pan this down and we'll take a look at these accessories here. So, Optimus comes with 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 sets, or I mean 12 different variations of hand components you can have him in. Of course, I have 2 on here. The rest you can see down here. And we have a variety of just like closed, this isn't going to focus for me. There we go. We have a variety of closed fists to more like the sprawling, this is not wanting to focus for me. There we go. To a like more sprawled out look there. And you can just see all the different types of hands. I'm not going to go through every single one. And here, this is, of course, we have Optimus's ion cannon, his blaster, whichever iteration you'd like to refer to it as, but his classic ion cannon is what I'll call it. And this is fully painted in a nice kind of gunmetal gray, kind of with some speckles of silver, I want to say, in it. It's not fully that gray color. You can kind of pick it up on the camera. It kind of has a speckled silver aspect to it, but it is really nicely painted, really nicely detailed and designed. It's a nice looking blaster. But we'll focus in on the main source of this video. We have Optimus here, and I really have to say I was not keen on picking this guy up when I first saw him, but he is significantly more impressive in hand than any picture has displayed him as. And as you can see, I have the pointing fingers there on his left hand, and I have him gripping his beautiful, absolutely beautiful Energon axe over here. And without even having to take that out of his hand, you can see the crazy details that are on that. Real nice, solid pieces of, I would assume this is plastic here, but super solid. These don't bend, and these probably will not break easily at all. Even applying some decent pressure there, there's no bend to it. And this is, again, in that kind of gunmetal gray with the silver accents to it as well. Just a really, really nice looking axe overall on both sides, with kind of a hooked, jagged edge down there, of course. But focusing on Optimus specifically, and this guy is, like all ThreeZero toys, riddled with details, just completely riddled with details. The head sculpt is on a ball joint here, but the neck can move as well, and you can adjust the neck in plenty of different ways, as you can see there. But the head really has great movement up and down, left and right. You can pretty much get this head posed in whichever way you'd want. You'll see it's really, really nicely painted. It has a real nice silver there for the face mask and kind of face details, with a more of a bright blue for the eyes, kind of more of a Carolina blue compared to the classic blue that they have for the rest of the detailing on Prime's head, on his hands, and his legs, which is that really, really perfect blue color that is the classic Optimus Prime blue. You can just see how nice that really does look. But I love the eyes on this guy. A lot of people have complained about the distribution of the face, complaining about the eye placement and stuff, but I think that being that these are artist rendition new designs, I think it's perfectly fine. And what really has grown on me is the kind of double fins that he has, the kind of the arch fins that Optimus so classically has on the sides of his head. And they went for a kind of a doubled appearance here, with the inside being completely straight and the outside having a bit of an angle outwards to it. And I think it really does look nice. At first, when I saw this, I thought it was hideous, but it grew on me significantly. And the more you look at it and simply handling this figure, it's grown on me tremendously. But continuing upwards on the head, you can see they have that kind of classic crown crest at the top of the middle of Optimus's forehead. And this one is a bit more detailed, prominent, more prominently extended, I would say, than a lot of Optimuses in the past. But I do think it looks nice, and it does complement this specific design. Turning his head to the side, he does have some nice detailing there, and kind of where the ears would be, where there's kind of like a little, some nice gear detailing. But you can see, and it does appear that the ears, or kind of the ear fin pieces, are slightly darker in blue than the rest of the head and body, which is, of course, another nice little detail that ThreeZero put into paint application. But looking at the back of Optimus's head, as I'll spin him around, you can see, of course, still not lacking any detail there, as they put some nice silver and black painting into these little ventilations on the back of his head, and up at the top of the back of his head, there's some black paint in there to kind of bring out some more depth and detail in there. But a really nice looking Optimus. Even going down into the neck section, you can just see all of that kind of dirty chrome paint that they have in there that really makes this figure look nice. And I think that is one of the other highlights of this figure, is that it doesn't look like it's like some kind of brand new pretty, super pretty trying to look Optimus. I mean, this Optimus isn't trying to look pretty, is what I'm trying to say. He looks a little bit worn, and it's a fantastic looking figure. I mean, the more I look at it, the more I like it. But let's focus in on this chest piece now. Focusing in on Optimus's chest here, you can see we got there's very nice paint detailing in there on the inner of the lights there, with that very subtle but effective yellow kind of demonstrating the lights there. And this chest is an absolutely beautiful chest, bending it back just so you could see the most detail, as much detail as possible there, in the kind of like rib cage design they went for with him. In the front of the chest, kind of where the grill of the truck would be. And I think it's a really nice looking design. Really nice and tight in there when it working into the lower abdomen, as you kind of get the waist thinning out a little bit. But it's a great looking toy over here. Spinning around to the back though, you can just see even more detail packed in. Now this is another accessory, attachable backpack piece. Taking it right off there, you can see there's no lack in detail, and he does get a pretty decent ab crunch here. You can see he can bend over a good amount, and you can then see a lot of the really nice spine details that Optimus has along his back there, with the silver and the red, kind of the chrome. And this is more of a natural silver gray, while as this is, of course, the more chromed silver. And I think it's a real nice use of the different shades of a similar color to really shine on a lot of those details. But spinning him back around to the front here, the chest is actually, you cannot see it too well here. Yes, you can actually. So you can see here and here just the edges of the matrix poking out. And of course you want to grab up by these lights and just kind of pull out a little bit, and the chest piece will come right off, and there is Optimus with the matrix of leadership, which can just peg in anyway. Not really peg in, but you kind of just push it in there, and it fits in between the, just kind of the way the detail is sculpted into the chest there. It just fits right in there. Obviously, it's not too tight. You can push at it and it'll come out, but it's a really nice looking matrix that he can, of course, hold as well, which I'll showcase later in the video. But for now, let's close that chest back up, which literally just attaches right in on these three magnets. So it's not like it's even, on these three magnets. So it's not even like it's too difficult to take on and off. But for now, we'll plop the matrix back in his chest, close him back up, and it snaps right back there on. Snaps right back on there. So moving down even more onto Optimus. Actually, let's take a look at these arms. This is actually backwards. That is how it should have been displayed. I just realized that now as I was looking for the yellow, but my sentiment remains the same. I really do like these pistons on the back of the arms here, as it just adds some more detail to the figure overall. But taking a look back at the front of these guys, at this guy, like I said earlier, they really knocked it out of the park with this specific paint color on the legs, the hands, and of course the head, because we have not seen a movie, other than the Bumblebee movie, we have not seen Optimus with his classic and completely accurate G1 blue hands in any of the Transformers movies for some reason. Also, we have the classic G1 markings of just these yellow arrows pointing down, another nice little nod from what is clearly a very heavily G1 inspired figure, but a truly faithful redesign. Now, looking at these upper shoulders here, this is on two joints here. You see the shoulders on a joint where you can get plenty of movement out of there, and then you have this upper shoulder pad, which is also on a rotation here that can just go up and down to allow for maximum posability of these arms. These arms, of course, fully posable. You can rotate them 360 degrees. As you can see, I had it literally backwards earlier as I was just posing it around. Same thing with the hands on a ball joint. You can rotate those as you wish. But the lengths they went to truly allow maximum posability on this figure is felt in just about every aspect of him. And just getting a close detail of those shoulders pieces, again, we have a real nice chrome piece for these kind of exhaust pipes and a really nice painted Autobot logo in the center of those shoulders on either side. I really do like that. But finishing in on just the final look at these arms, you do have this tab here, which helps cover up all of it when you're moving around this in the background. Obviously this is going to be a little bit open, but this can serve as a nice little, just another little small piece that they added in there. Shout out to the design team, just to fully make this figure not really look like a figure. It looks like a highly detailed model. And all of these little flaps, all of these little details, as we'll then focus in here on the waist, all of these little flaps are adjustable on all sides of them. You've got around here near his butt, all of this stuff is movable, adjustable. This is fully adjustable for when you want to move the legs, and those leg pieces right here are really beautifully painted. This silver is amazing, it's amazing everywhere else on the figure, but since it's so prominent here in the legs, I think it really does stand out. You can see it's picking up on the camera just how much it shines and how much this figure shines overall. But looking at the back detail of the legs here, where you have kind of the knee joint, you can just see they didn't slack at all. There's detail inside the area where it compresses. There's detail down to the back of the legs with more of that gunmetal gray that we found present in the rest of his design, more specifically in his weapons. But looking down at those feet there, one of the biggest complaints that I've seen people say, and these feet can go back and forth, and the toe does have an adjustable joint there that you can go up and down with there. So it allows for some more dynamic poses. But I do have to point out, one of the things people have voiced displeasure on is kind of these kind of, I don't know, ankle foot protectors. I mean, it wouldn't even really be ankle, but like, I mean, you can see what this is, whatever these kind of defense blocks are, but these have a small amount of posability, adjustability, just kind of back and forth, up and down, very slightly. And I think this design could have gone without it, but it's not the biggest deal. Moving into those shins though, really nice, again with that gunmetal gray. A beautiful, absolutely beautiful designing, detailing inside of there, as well as a mix of that nice, more silver, chrome, and the gunmetal, just adding in even more details to the legs on this guy. And bending it again down, you can see, again, even more detail. That popped out again right here. But let me pop that back in, just showing you, it really is, even though stuff will pop out, it's super easy just to tab it right back in. And I am handling this guy pretty roughly just to kind of get a gauge on how strong he is, but he's holding up really well. I mean, you tabbed it right back in. There's no damage to him or anything. He holds up well. He's durable in hand, and I wasn't so sure about that because this guy doesn't have too much metal in him structurally. or I mean too much metal or die cast present on him when you're handling him. I believe there is actually some on the inside, but really it doesn't feel like a lot of the other ThreeZero figures. It feels more like a figure, but it has the obvious beautiful designs of the other ThreeZero toys. But finishing in on the legs there, you do get a full rotation out to the side there, so you can get some kind of samurai kicks with Prime. They come all the way out, all the way back, and you can just see the joint they're on is a super flexible ball joint in there. And it is, as you can see, I mean, it allows for a lot of mobility, and it's not at all loose. Not at all loose. Like, I can just drop that figure down, and boom, he's standing like that. It's a fantastic figure. Now, one more thing about the legs I do have to point out, though, is this joint literally can come all the way down. As you can see, it's now hanging lower than the other leg, so you can completely lower this joint to get some more poses, but it is naturally kind of just push it right back up there, and it'll fit in between all of these kind of like protection pads around the waist there. Now, just to give you a bit of a comparison, sliding Optimus back a little bit, I will plug in, here is Premium Finish Studio Series Optimus Prime from the Bumblebee movie, and here is Generations Siege, War for Cybertron, Fall of Cybertron, whichever the name is, Megatron. So as you can see how well this Optimus in the middle scales with a lot of these other figures of the same size. So I really wouldn't worry at all about picking this guy up in terms of scale for your collection. And one thing I will point out, though, although these are two completely different figures, is this figure nailed it with the large kind of boxy upper shoulder pads that are adjustable. Whereas this figure, when you want to pose the arm, all of this gets clunky and all of this gets all jumbled up, and it really is not fun for posing this guy. Even though he looks fantastic, this guy really is knocking out of the park when it comes to posability and looks. So just wanted to point that out. And here's the moment many people have been waiting for, just to see how exactly Optimus and Bumblebee scale alongside each other. And I mean, as you can see here, they really do look terrific together. I think this is a great scale I mean, I can't say it better. This is a great scale, accurate to how the G1 representation would have been. Bumblebee is small, but not too small. Comes up right about to Prime's waistline, right where he should. And I mean, this is a great line. This is a great start to their line. I know that this has been out for a little while now, but this is two really, really solid pieces, and they really do look fantastic together. And of course, I would be doing y'all wrong if I did not show you him with his gun, his classic ion blaster, ion cannon. But kind of just giving a final word on this MDLX ThreeZero Optimus Prime. I love this guy, and honestly, I wasn't so sure that I would. I was more so picking him up to really verify my concerns and thoughts on this figure. I watched a bunch of reviews on him, wasn't so sure, and I do have to say he does deliver in every single aspect. Of course, this is a smaller scale Optimus Prime. This is more in line with a kind of I would say more in line with a Voyager figure. If you want to scale it with a lot of the other classic Transformers, as this is a ThreeZero product, and the ThreeZero products are all normally significantly bigger products, as they are more, they're all non-transformable, pure design, pure model toys. But this guy is definitely fitting with the classic Deluxes, classic Voyager, classic Leader classes. And I think this is a really nice Optimus Prime to pick up if you wanted to display him alongside some other G1 editions of the character, or pick him up with the rest of your MDLX figures as they continue to release. But I really do think this is a great Optimus Prime figure. I think it's a very original and yet faithful adaptation of the G1 designs, and I really do think ThreeZero is continuing to knock it out of the park with the work they do on these Transformers. But would 100% recommend picking this guy up for the price that he is. The fact that this is a figure that is under $100 is amazing, because I really do recommend you would pick him up now while he's at that price, because as more and more time goes on, when they move on to more MDLX figures, you're going to regret not picking this one up. Just with the signs of this line the way that the figures of this line are coming out, I would expect a lot more really nice figures coming from ThreeZero. But that's really all I have to say about Optimus Prime over here. Any feedback is appreciated. Likes, dislikes, comments, let me know down below. And until next time, guys, I'll see you. Peace.